Hey everybody, Matt Mullen here. You made it to session number 2 of how to make money with email. It's a mastermind. Thanks, Raptive. The gentleman behind me, he's blurred, but that's my friend. He's letting me work from his office today. Um, and I think he is getting a lot. He's not a member of Raptive, so he is just milking this, getting all sorts of free stuff, not even charging him. But he is putting me up for the week, which is nice. I am recording now and will be sharing this session again on Facebook. Just as a reminder, if you missed, for whatever reason, you missed the first session, go back, pause, stop, go watch the first one. You can, it's a YouTube thing, so you can put it on 2x speed, and I sound like a chipmunk, and it's fantastic. But we talked in that session about my number one go-to fallback, can't miss lead magnet. And it's called the Quick Start Guide. So today we're going to be reviewing some of your Quick Start guides, and I have made a promise that I will not make anybody cry today. All right. My wife looked me in the eye and said, "No crying today." And I said, "Okay, fine." So we're going to be gentle. It's interesting. This session is actually one of the better received sessions that I do, because I think it's just really practical, and it's something that we all do every day, all day long. And so it's just another perspective on copywriting in general. And email copywriting is special. It's its own special snowflake. So we'll deal with that. This is important because growing the list is the key to making money with email. Obviously, a bigger list we have, the better opportunities we have to sell them stuff. And so it only makes sense that we figure out how to write those emails. So I'm going to spend enough time on that today so you get my general philosophy about email writing. And I'm going to share that with you in just a second. Let me give you the heads up about where we're going in the future sessions, because some of you are like, let's just get to the money making part. I do want to share with you the foundations for my system about, once you have somebody on the list, what to send them. And the reason for that is probably obvious, but if we are not serving our audience regularly so that we turn into subject matter experts for them, they're not going to buy from us. They're not going to click on our stuff to see our ads. They're not going to buy our ebooks, our courses. They're not going to click on our affiliate links. So I'm going to tell you how the frequency that I set up, and how I use automations to make my clients' lives easier. And we'll be sharing that maybe a little bit today if we have time, but mostly on Friday. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have broken down as much as I possibly can. I'm going to be just opening up the fire hose and sharing with you ways that my clients are making money with email. I mentioned a few just a moment ago, and I will dive deeper into affiliate. I'll dive deeper into sponsorships. We'll take a hard look at how to just get more out of Raptive with our email. And then I'm going to share with you some innovative, creative things that are coming. I'm going to share a bunch of examples, real life examples of what people are doing. So prepare yourselves for that. But this is foundational. Please stay with me here, because if you don't do this stuff, what we're talking about on the first couple of sessions, you will not be as effective with the next setup. So that's why I'm starting here. All right. How did it go? Just before I turn on my how did it go as you were looking at your quick start guides? Any questions or struggles? Let's open it up. We have a small enough group here. If you feel like chatting about it, let me know. I know that one or two of you are still kind of at the planning stages. But anybody brave and want to tell me how it went?
I struggled hard only because I don't have the ebook written yet that I thought I was going to have ready in time to do this new quick start, which I know I don't have to put this up right away, so I can integrate it back in. But trying to think of it from a different perspective of how I used to do it, which is you're brand new to dehydrating and you have no clue what you're doing, and trying to go from that to like somebody who already kind of does and they just need to know how to use it. I don't have a massive amount of recipes on my site yet. So it was like I kept coming up with different ways, but couldn't fill it up. So it was like trying to integrate the two. And I just struggled with it last night, trying to do that.
Okay.
because this is probably one of my weakest things in my repertoire of what I do. Copywriting, I don't do well. So I just really struggled last night with it.
Okay, well, we're going to look at yours directly, right? We'll just
Made me cry.
and no.
Yeah, make me cry.
I'm going to give you hope for a brighter future, Darcy. And then maybe as we go through that, we'll talk about some of the challenges you have as far as the content itself, about how to weave it together and how to match that up. Maybe that'll be evident to me as I'm looking at it. And thanks for sharing. I bet you're not alone in those struggles. Anybody else? Yes, Tracy.
Hey Matt, well, I sent you one of my quick start guides. I know my click rates are good, but I'm wondering if I could improve that by making it shorter, more succinct, more concise.
Okay. I've got pulled up here, I think one of your emails, and if we should have time, we can go through that together, and some other people might benefit from that too. Awesome. Riyadh is going through the ConvertKit University. Well, okay, that's cool. Pick your topic, Riyadh. Let's go, man. 5 secrets to blank, whatever it is. Go fast, break stuff. I promise you, regardless of how it goes with the ConvertKit University course, just writing that quick start guide while we're in the mode here will you'll have something ready to rock immediately as soon as you're ready. So that's my rah-rah speech for you today. All right, anybody else? Bren, yeah.
My biggest struggle is being concise, because I have a green cleaning newsletter I do weekly, and it's pretty long form. So my readers respond to it. Like, I have a 60% open rate in there. But I know that I need to be more concise for like the beginning audience, if that makes sense. But
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you sent me one as well. We'll be able
Yeah.
to look at it. Okay, great. Chaz, I think I've got something from you too. So, and for those that don't know, if you didn't send it to me, if you'd like me to look at whatever you are, whatever you've got so far, I'm happy to do so, because it's often it illustrates for others as well opportunities and that they might not have thought of. All right, thank you for sharing, folks. I'm glad that. Not glad that you're struggling a little bit, but glad to hear where you're struggling, because this is exactly what we're going to address today. Again, just as a reminder, I know it's weird. I have my laptop video over here, but I have to read the thing over here because of my eyesight, and the bigger monitor doesn't work so well on the laptop. My apologies for that. I am looking at you, so I know that's weird. All right, so let's dive in. I'm going to show you real quick where we're going. I mentioned it just briefly, but I want to show it to you as far as a kind of a visual approach here. Today, we're talking about the Quick Start Guide. In the future, we'll talk about other ways to grow your list. I use the word bonus content just as a proxy there. There's I don't know, 500 million ways that we can do it, and I'm going to share most of them with you here. And once they're on their list, I like to, at bare minimum, I like to send 2 emails a week. You can email more often than you think when you are a true subject matter expert. This is not true for all y'all. I get it. But for most of you, especially those of you who are in food or crafts or lifestyle, 2 emails a week is just fine. And so I'm going to tell you about something that I call the Forever Series, which is basically a nurture sequence that just doesn't end. I'll explain that if we have time today, or if not, we'll do it Friday. And then, of course, statistically speaking, the best time to send 4th of July recipes is, in fact, around the 4th of July. So seasonality matters. And, so I'm going to teach you how I deal with a weekly newsletter and approach the seasonality opportunity. And then for those that are interested, I'll touch briefly on what you might do with an RSS feed if you want. Okay, if you did not yet get it, go get it. Free at Email on Autopilot. Raptive is paying for it. So go grab your Email on Autopilot course. It might be a resource for you in the future, or as you're going through the specifics and the setup here. And there's your coupon code if you haven't gotten it. Okay, let's get into your quick start guides. Now, before I dive right in, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. I haven't even read any of yours yet. So this is not a commentary on what I've seen. This is well, it is a commentary on what I've seen, but what I've seen for years. First of all, get to the point. Remember what I need to have a t-shirt made of. People don't read emails, they skim. So we got to get to the point. If it's not clear, and all of this kind of fits the same thing. If we can get to the point faster for them, we're doing them a favor. Write what you're going to write and then cut the words in half. Well, not the words in half, that would be weird, but cut the word count in half, and that would probably be better. And even if you can't get 50% of the words out, you get 10% of the words out, you're going to have a tighter, more concise, better message. Subheaders. Oh my goodness, folks, I love me a good subheader. So you'll see that in action today. If you didn't use one, I'm going to be one of the first things that I go straight to. Buttons. This won't show up in what we're doing today, but when you're writing, people are trained to know what to do with buttons and call to actions. It should be crystal clear to all of us on this call what problem you're solving with each individual email. If that's not clear, then, well, probably need to go back to the drawing board a little bit. They won't. There's kind of this general rule of thumb with emails: don't make me think. I ain't gonna think. I'm gonna delete before I think. So just, it's got to be super clear. Subject lines, we'll talk about those today. My favorite subject line formula is this right here. If you haven't written this down, please do. Learn it, adopt it. It really helped me when I learned it, and that's curiosity plus self-interest. You'll just get tighter with your email. All right, let's get to it. Who wants to go first? I don't even care. I'm just going to start here. Who is this? All right, Darcy, unmute. Let's go through this. All right. Now, before I get too far here, you mentioned a couple of struggles. If I understood you, you were worried about how do you pull two topics together? Was that right?
Yeah.
How does
it's
that
trying to
show
take
up here?
an ultimate beginner and somebody who's been doing it for a little while. My first series is the ultimate beginner. So this is trying to kind of blend them together. I'm still doing some of the basics in there, but then taking them into how to use things later, which I didn't do a lot before. And this is like the first email they're going to get that welcomes them to the series to tell them what's coming.
Yeah.
So it may be unnecessary, but it's kind of the one that just says, thanks for joining and here's what's coming.
Right. I like it. I like it.
Okay.
Let me talk about that in just a moment, because that's an important, I've kind of, maybe since you even took the course the first time with me, I've changed my tune just a little bit on that first email. So let's talk about that in just a second. But to be clear, 5 tips to make dehydrating easier. That sounds like that could work for anybody, beginners or intermediates, right? So I don't see any challenge there. Maybe others do, but I don't. Even if I'm an advanced dehydrator, the promise of getting a nugget out of here might be compelling, that I'm going to at least get something to make my dehydrating easier. I'm going to assume that because you do it all day, every day, and blog about it, that you know more about it than I do. Is that kind of, is that the heart of your concern with that?
The title, no, it was how to integrate it into, like, it was just trying to pull the daily ones, what was going to actually show up in there. Because if we can only talk about this much stuff, I had a lot to try to cram into this much stuff. So that's just what I was bringing.
So this is for somebody who has come to your website, is consuming your content, sees a pop-up or a form, and is getting onto your list. And there's this, like you said, this is the first thing that they're learning from you. By no means does this have to be everything that you know about dehydrating.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the part that's hard for me.
Because you're going to be, where I hope you'll go, is you're going to be sending them, I hope, ongoing emails, which will continue to serve them. So
it's kind of like, this is just my one shot to get them. And so I was like trying to put everything in there that I know. And that's the part that the concision, that's not a word.
I love it. The concision. Yes. The precision concision.
Yeah. Just trying to fit it all in. And that's just where I was having the problem. So
what I'm glancing at, I don't see a problem, but let's go through it.
Okay.
Hi, Matt. Welcome to 5 tips to make dehydrating easier. By the way, I like doing things like this. You'll see me do this all the time. I like she's got a welcome here, but like even on day 2 and day 3, I might say it's day 2 of, welcome to day 2 of 5 tips to make dehydrating easier. And the reason I like that is it just ties back to that pop-up that I signed up for either a day ago or 3 days ago. And it reminds me that I'm in a series. It's a thing. And it tells me that this thing has a beginning and it will end someday, and kind of where I am in it. So I do like that a lot. I'm so excited to help you along with your journey to creating a pantry. Okay, what a time to get started. Okay, what if, I'm just gonna go suggesting mode. And by the way, Darcy, thank you for being my first guinea pig.
Yeah.
What you have here, I can tell would work just fine. So anything that I do from here on out is my effort to justify my existence on this call. That's all. So take it for what it's worth. One thought that I had, how does this email change? Do you lose anything at all? I don't think you do.
Okay.
The problem that somebody has is that dehydrating can be daunting. Learning to dehydrate can feel daunting. I love the formatting, by the way. I hope you all are taking a little note here, mental note. Look at how she is making this skimmable. Learning to dehydrate can feel daunting. Oh, you're right. And then it's these bullet points. We're afraid of wasting food. We're afraid of making your family sick. Now, you know what I do when I'm skimming? I'm glance at this because it's a bullet point. That's nice. We're saving food. You're afraid of making your family sick. Not going to happen. And then I kind of stop. Now, I'm not saying don't put these other bullet points in here. The point is that you accomplished what you wanted. If they read all that, great. If not, I get the gist of learning to dehydrate can be daunting because that's my problem. You're afraid of wasting food. You're afraid of, yes, I am. Yes. So then I go to this, get the answers. Oh, that is fantastic. You're promising me the answers. Over the next few days, I'll answer those questions for you, helping you discover that dehydrating is fun and easy. It's a great way to do it. Man, you are a gold star. I'm looking for something here to criticize, Darcy. I can't find it. I'll send you 5 emails, 1 each day, with steps to help you start dehydrating. Okay. Then let me ask a question. Now, Darcy, what you're doing is something that I used to do as well, and in every welcome email for a quick start guide. I love this, by the way. I'm not against this at all. The great thing about doing something like this is if they reply,
They do.
that's wonderful for deliverability. That works so much better than, please whitelist this email address so that it'll show up in your inbox. By them hitting reply, Google, Gmail, Hotmail, whatever, they go, oh, that's not spam, that's not promotion. You don't reply to spam or promotion. Therefore, there's a higher likelihood they're going to deliver it where you want it to go. So if you have the type of audience that is going to do this, the other thing is the more obvious is that you learn from your audience. So option number 1 is the way that Darcy did it here.
And Matt, I want to tell you, I did learn from the audience because my first beginning version of this actually had what each lesson was going to be every day. And almost always they would reply to this. And it was like, I want to know this question, which was like day 4 or 5, because they weren't reading what was coming.
Yeah.
So I just pulled that stuff out altogether.
I love it. Okay. I love this. Here's some help. And then you actually give them something tangible to do, something tangible to take action on. My suggestion on this is more general for not necessarily for you, Darcy, but in general, get them back to your blog if you can. If you're going to do this kind of action, try to get them to something that brings them back onto your site. Get that click, get that eyeball, get them recognizing your logo, and maybe they're going to bump around a little bit and find other resources on the website. I want them back on the site if I can. Not to say that this isn't great and helpful. And definitely I dig that, but you could even put that in the PS. Okay. Then this feels like this gets a little wordy, all this, because we've kind of gotten to this point. I probably would just end it here, but again, I'm nitpicking. Fantastic. Okay. Love it. Let's take a look. Day one, throw out your manual. When you open it, did you put it on the shelf, or are you someone who read through the menu? Read the manual, then throw it out, not literally. Okay. That's a good tip. It's a good piece of advice. But what do you really want them to do in this email?
I want them to click on the how to dehydrate this.
Right. So what does this have to do with that?
Because all the stuff that's in your manual that tells you how to do stuff is wrong. And so when they click on that, it's the whole list of all how to dehydrate everything that their manual tells them incorrectly. So it's a page full of every dehydrating recipe that you can possibly use.
All right. So this is a good example of where I can kind of play, get out my scissors a little bit and
Okay,
see
go for it.
what we can cut. When you open, forgive the exact words. You're going to go figure out the
Yeah,
right
that's
words,
fine.
right?
Thank you.
But I'm going to do something like this. Manuals are great for giving info on how to run your dehydrator space. Again, you're good. It's your style, right? I'm going to quit apologizing, but this is more to just illustrate.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to take a page out of your playbook from the first email. What manuals aren't good at is giving you real advice on how do I dehydrate this? And even that's a little wordy, but I'm just taking my first stab at it, right?
Okay.
And then here so let's click on this. I bet you this is 200 best dehydrating recipes. Okay, so this is a button or something, right?
All right. Okay.
Then you could say something like, oh, well, actually, I kind of like. All right, now let's take a look. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 2. By the way, I didn't write it here, but I would still start with, hi, Matt. Welcome to day 2 of, insert title here. For any dehydrator, here's my biggest piece of advice. I love this hook, by the way. It's a strong hook. Throw away the manual.
Thank you. Thanks.
Why the manual isn't super helpful. They're great at giving you information about how to run your stuff, but what they aren't good at is this. So I'm just cutting down the fluff, just going right to it. And then how to dehydrate, big emphasis on that. I have the solution. Maybe that's too big, too bold. I'm not sure. I've created a list of recipes to help you know exactly how to dehydrate real food. My 200. Because what's going to happen is they're just going to skim to this, aren't they?
Right.
They're going to go, manual isn't helpful, use my list instead. And even if they don't read anything else, they just click, then you've won, right? What not to dehydrate? Have you ever wondered if the thing, maybe you wonder, can I? Okay, wow, this is great. Look at that. Have you ever, right to the heart of the problem. Have you ever wondered if there are things you shouldn't dehydrate? Maybe you wondered, can I do this? Yes, you can dehydrate, but the big question is, should you? Learn more. No further questions, Your Honor. That's fantastic. Nice. Yeah.
Thanks.
You got nods from a couple of people. I saw them. People don't just nod. People don't just give out free nods these days, Darcy. You earned those nods. Okay, let's talk about subject lines. When you're in a quick start guide, my subject line formula isn't as vital because a fallback with, but we're going to go through the exercise anyway, but a fallback can be, whoops. Let's try this a little bit different. You can do this any old time you want. What's it called? 5 days of Darcy's dehydrating decadence. Do not use that title. That is really weird. But anyway, whatever it is, insert title here.
So you would leave that day 2 in the same title of the series every day?
I'm saying that's your fallback position.
Okay.
And you'll be fine with that because it's solving it's the problem that's like, Rick Steve saying it's day 2 of going to Paris. Okay, yeah, I'm going to Paris. What's he going to tell me today? So that's fine. But but we can't do that in a forever series email. We can't do that in a weekly newsletter. So let's put our subject line formula to the test since we're not going to do copywriting on those other emails, but it's the same thing and everybody's going to help me here. Okay, here's the thing. You see what this is about. My challenge to you is to use the subject line formula, curiosity plus self-interest. Down in the chat below, I want you to not look at what I'm writing, and I'm not going to look at yours. I'm going to be making some subject lines. I want you to do it as well. Darcy just gets to sit back and bask in the glory of being the first guinea pig while the rest of us do work that we could charge thousands of dollars for. All right, so Darcy's going to go get herself something nice with all that money she saves on these subject lines. All right, so is that a deal? You ready? I need a yes. Okay. All right. It's like I need that. I'm in the emergency row exit. I need a verbal. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. All right. All right, let's pause just for the sake of time. All right, Chaz did it. Thank you, Chaz. All right, come on, the rest of you. Did you write anything down? Any subject lines? All right. 5 secrets to dehydrating for the ultimate guy. Okay, Chaz, you were giving us a title for the whole thing, I think, which is it's a solid title. I'm trying to write a subject line for this particular email. Sorry, I didn't make that distinction. Don't make this common dehydrating mistake. Bren, that's awesome. I like it. You never want to dehydrate these. That makes me go, whoa. Kara, that is good. I had wait, don't dehydrate that. Something kind of similar. Revealed what you should never dehydrate, the don't dehydrate list. Maybe it's the don't dehydrate list. Can I dehydrate that? I'll tell you. Don't dehydrate this. Yes. All right. We were all kind of on the same page here. Now, why does that work? Every one of these are good. The reason that those work, I think, is because the self-interest is as a dehydrator, you don't want to make a mistake, and then your curiosity is, well, what is it, right? Now, if you said, don't dehydrate spinach, you'd be like, okay, I don't need to even open the email anymore, all right? So that's well done. Does that help, Darcy? Okay, I'm going to move on. Is there anything before I do that you'd like me to look at in the rest of the series?
No, I can just kind of take that and edit myself like crazy.
This right here feels, I'm just glancing at it, this feels very, I haven't even read what this is all about, but I'm wondering if you're giving the information that's in this.
I am.
in the
I'm
email.
giving it away too soon. Yeah.
Just have them click it. And that's just kind of a rule of thumb, everybody. If the information's in the blog post, you don't need to put it in the email. Use the email to get them to the blog post. Find up in powders. Okay, good. This one feels wordy, but it may be important relative to what you're giving. So, picky eaters. That feels like, that also, Darcy, feels like a little bit of a divergence from the theme. Not saying that that's bad. Certainly can
No,
go
but that's
there.
the how to use. So that's what we've gone through, a couple of basics and then into the how to use stuff at the end. That's where I was trying to merge as we went to basic concepts to the one question everybody asks me all the time.
Yeah.
Is how to use it. So that's why it was kind of like, these are the basics of what you need to do first, and then how to use it.
Okay. See here, how to store dehydrated foods. That goes hand in hand to me with making dehydrating easier. If we get to this one, where did it go?
Because that's the hard part for people, is not knowing how to use it.
How to use their dehydrated foods.
Mm-hmm.
Then what if you said, my favorite way, right? This is the gist of it, not the subject line, but it's my favorite way to use dehydrated vegetables. Or how to use.
That's what the last one was like a day's kind of recipes.
Well, you're solving one particular problem, which is you can use dehydrated foods in a powder form to trick kids into eating vegetables, right?
Yes.
So I'm just trying to think of a way to say that more succinctly. Actually, this is one possible use of ground up dehydrated foods. There are multiple possible uses, correct?
Yeah.
So
that's why the links down below, like further in, are the different ways to use powders in general. So it gives them a chance to go look at any of them. So I'm giving them too many choices.
Or it's just formatting.
Okay.
Because the essential tip is grind it up. That's what you're saying. Grind it up. You'll use it later in all these different ways. There's so many ways you can use it. But if you grind it up, how to make this, how to make this, how to make this, right? Boom, boom, boom. Then what you might do is have dehydrating is easier. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 4 of how to make dehydrating easier. One of the best uses for dehydrated foods is to create powders, to grind them into powders. It's a simple technique that can be used over and over and over again. Here are my here are some ways that I use it. One, put, ground up vegetables in foods for picky eaters. Two, increase my leafy green intake in my smoothies. Three, right, whatever those are.
Okay, right.
And then because it's still about the powders and that I want to make the powders, this made it feel like it's about picky eaters and eating vegetables, which that's something that it could be, but anyway, that's where my mind got hung up.
Okay.
And then this is fantastic, kind of like a meal plan almost.
Mm-hmm.
Day one, do this, day two, do this. I've got, with a lot of food bloggers, we'll do these emails on the regular newsletter where it's like, here's your meal plan for the week. And then it's like lunch, snack, dinner, and then they'll click to recipes. This kind of feels like that. And people like that. It's like almost a plan handed to them. Okay. Anyway, I'll move on now.
All
Sorry
right,
about
thanks.
that.
I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Brendan's giving you a couple ideas in there too. Jazz as well. That's good. Those are good, folks. I like them. All right, let's take a look here. Brenley, Bren of the Bren people. Okay. Tell me what I'm going to tell you. I haven't even looked at it yet.
That beginning is just where I was brainstorming. So I'm thinking that it starts with email one, that it's too long.
Okay, well, let's see. You see that, or do you think that, or do you think I'm going to tell you that?
I think you're going to tell me that.
So it may be okay. It's just what I'm going to say. All right, well, let's see. What's my title? Green cleaning for beginners. 5 secrets to going green without the fuss. I like that. Green cleaning simplified. 5 secrets to healthier cleaning. I kind of like that one too. These are good things to test.
Okay.
And it's hard to test. There are tools out there. There's different pop-up softwares that do better at this than others. One that's really good at testing is called ConvertBox, but we'll talk about that later. Otherwise, you'll just have to throw one out there and see if it works for a while, and then throw a different one out and see if that gets any sort of noticeable bump. All right. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day one of green eating for beginners. The problem most people face when transitioning is overwhelm. You want a better way, but there's conflicting information in product labels. Feels like you need a chemistry. Transitioning to green cleaning can be hard. I read everything, get my hands on. After writing, I want to share the secret. Great. Focus on simple swaps. Make small changes. Easy shower. I like that. Okay. I'm just going to tell you what's on my mind as I look at this, not because it's right or anything. It's just what occurred to me.
Yeah.
I almost got hung up on the word swaps. I don't know why.
Okay.
I like make small changes. It's almost, start very small, change one thing at a time is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, I've used baby steps before too.
Yeah, I like that too.
Okay.
I think I like, this is me. I don't know how everybody else reacts, but I kind of got hung up on what does a swap mean? Like there was like some sort of actual technique or action that was going to take place. When really all you're saying is just start real small, man.
Yeah.
And I feel like this could be tightened up. That's all. Just get to it a little bit faster. Make small changes, but don't require a ton of effort. What if we even did this? I mean, I know that this is very similar to one of the examples that I used in the past, but that doesn't mean I know what the heck I'm doing. Let's look at this. Let's pull this out. What if I said, it's number one problem people face, overwhelm. We may even say, we could tie this together even a little bit better, like transitioning to green cleaning. It's hard to know where to start is kind of the message.
Mhm.
Not just that it's hard, but just like, how do I start?
Right.
You could even do. Well, no, actually, no, I'm gonna flip it on it now that I see it.
Okay.
Right? We've already said the hard part.
Right.
We've already empathized with them. Getting started is easier than you think.
Yeah.
After writing about this for 10 years, the secret is focus on small changes,
Okay.
as Tracy threw in there. Make small changes. Dun, 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 start with this. It's seriously simple. Your new clean. I like it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's
Okay.
the only thing that occurs to me as I look at this. Was there anything in particular, anything else there?
No, I mean, I write very casually,
Mm-hmm.
and I wonder if that bothers you. Like, I'd use a lot of dots and a lot of like, my father's a journalist, so he would not approve of this at all.
No, neither would my my seventh grade English teacher, Mrs. Meek.
Right.
She would be very upset with me.
So do you think it's too choppy, or do you think it's accomplishing the readability?
People don't read this
Okay.
stem. So they're not even going to read all of this, every word in here. So
Right.
you could have said this in like as if it was a tweet.
Right.
Hi, Matt. Welcome to day one of green cleaning for beginners. Instead of being overwhelmed, I'm here to tell you that getting started with green cleaning is easier than you think.
Right.
Just focus on simple changes, on
Right.
small changes. Here is the easiest change you can make. Just change your shower cleaner. That email would work too, right?
Right.
So, and then you're talking in detail about a particular product, right?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Do this for a safer, healthier home. One big lie is repeated again and again. Chemicals are bad. Yeah, I think this is great and it's fine and it would work just fine, but I think you almost one big lie is repeated over and over again. Then you could do right. You could
Yeah.
literally do this. I'm not saying you should or that you want to, but if
Right.
you want to get as tight and concise as possible, take a look. Do you have one for the shower? Yeah, that could be said the same way you could be said. You probably have dozens of cleaners for different
Right.
different purposes. Or heck, you've already got it.
Right.
And here you're missing the big punchline. Or see that?
Yeah.
Bang bang. See, I love this. That's great. So anyway, there's your my 2 cents on that.
Okay.
Anything else you want me to look at, or kind of more of the same, right?
Yeah, it's more of the same. I just need to go back and tighten it up. But thank you. Those are wonderful suggestions.
This is going to be a very helpful. I have a lot of. I'm not just saying this, Brent, but I have a lot of clients that struggle with this topic. I don't know why exactly, but I think it's like converting people to going green. And sometimes people struggle with this, and you're just making this real easy for me. I think you're approaching it from that baby step perspective, allows somebody who is living their life with all these other patterns to just take one little change and feel good about that change. So I really like that. Okay, cool. All right. Do I have somebody else's here? Let's see. All right. So Chaz is after it, getting started and looking at fall. I see. That's not a bad idea. Chaz, any questions? Do you want me to spend any time here?
I that's as far as I got. I just, we talked about summer, but I know starting July, I get a lot of traffic starting with fall. So then I thought I'll skip summer and I'll focus on fall first. And I was trying to find the pain points that people might be coming and looking for this.
Right.
So hence the questions. And I don't know if there's better pain points that I should be focusing on. And then how then to, after you address the pain point, what's the next step to kind of get them to move and click through?
Yeah. I really like how you said that, addressing the pain point. What problem are you solving? And this is a great way to outline, is to think about what problem specifically you're going to solve. Because just like when you do blogs, blog posts, you know, you break things into an outline and then you kind of answer the questions that Google's going to want us to answer. We all do that. It's very similar here. So yeah, I mean, you just got to go write it. But
Right.
hi, Matt. Welcome to day 1 of 5 secret ways to decorate for fall on any budget. Let's start with pumpkin, iconic to the season. Of course, you want it easy. You want it to last the whole season long. Maybe you even want to make stuff and sell them. In today's resource, we're gonna solve all 3 of those. 25 super amazing pumpkin crafts that you can make and sell if you want. Boom, that's your email, right?
Perfect. No, that was great. That's very helpful. Just like take the question, answer it, send them there. Got it.
Yeah, because asking the question is basically exacerbating the problem that they have, right? Is stating the problem that they have, and then you just tell them you have a solution to the problem. That's it. That's how I do copywriting for emails. State the problem, tell me you have a solution to the problem, and then give them a link to the solution. If everybody thought about emails a little bit more like tweets, it might be easier. Like, just shorten them up. Awesome. Okay. Speaking of longer emails, Tracy Marie York, let's take a look at yours. What did you want me? Was this the one you want me to look at? You want me to look at a different one? You are muted, my friend.
Sorry, no, that's my regular email. That's not my quick start guide.
Okay.
Oh,
This one. Okay.
yeah, that's it.
Meat eaters will love eating vegetarian too. So excited. You are very excited. You seem very excited. One problem I hear from many people new to vegetarian cooking is how to introduce it to their omnivorous significant others. Okay, these are beautiful. These are beautiful words, poetic. They're like, I want to set it to music. It's so beautiful. Except I got to go look up what omnivorous is.
Yeah.
Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 1 of 5 secrets to eating vegetarian. So you want to cook vegetarian, but you also want to please the meat eaters in your home? I had that problem with my husband. Here's how I solved it. Meat eaters will love eating vegetarian too. Making okay, we got a lot of great behind the scenes stuff here. Maybe some of this goes underneath the first recipe. Also, my second recommendation to you is turn this into a roundup of 5 recipes. Give me 5 beautifully photographed options of recipes that meat eaters love too. Like, take everything out for a second and just what you're really saying is, I have recipes that even meat eaters will love. They look and taste like meat. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Now, I think that your message here By the way, this is everybody. I hope everybody's hearing this a little bit. One of the, I guess, if you were to be a critic of the Quick Start Guide, I think that the criticism, a valid criticism would be, when am I actually explaining who the heck I am, right? And my story. Let's do that down here. You've got this space, which when they're first getting started here, nobody's going to reply to you on that. That's probably not true, Tracy. You probably do get replies, but you could use this space that is just brief. Let me tell you about myself. And click and link them to the About Us page on your website, where you tell the story in more depth. Where in this case, it might be right here.
Yeah. Yep.
That's so great.
Okay.
You know, this, all of this. I mean, it's a little long maybe, but for the most part, that's the stuff that would live right here.
Okay.
What I really want from you when I don't know you, before I start to care about you, is I want to click on the recipe. I want to see more of this burger, this sloppy Joe, and try it. And then I'm gonna click on the other one that looks equally beautiful, because you're doing a roundup of 5. I'm gonna say, oh my goodness, vanilla and bean together in one for tangy lentil sloppy Joes. Life is finally complete, right? I found you. So then they're going to start to care. My feeling is that people, I mentioned this before, but people don't care about Taylor Swift's cats until they've heard, you know, a few songs on the radio. Right here, I saw this too. Get on the list. I don't want to be on your list, Tracy. I'm being a jerk now. I went back to jerk mode. Dang it. I did it. But I don't want to be on your list. But I do want 5 secrets to vegetarian cooking. So just say that. 5 secrets. I don't need to join a community. You know, I got too many communities. I should actually cut communities out of my Facebook and my life, you know?
Matt, it's all for GDPR.
I don't think you need to do that much. I understand that. I understand what you're saying. But this right here covers you, and this down here covers you. So 5 secrets to vegetarian cooking, free email series of my best vegetarian recipes and tips. Then down below, you can click, we can send you emails. Then it says you could even, if you wanted to change this, to even be, if you're really worried about it, which you don't have to, but you could go into more detail here and say, you'll receive my weekly newsletter of kitchen recipe and kitchen tips, along with info from partners, right? If you needed to change that up. But you'll do better if you, because this is all I'm seeing.
Okay.
All right. Okay, anybody else want me to look at anything? Or have any questions about this? All right, awesome. Look, you have everything that you need. You're doing great. Just maybe make a couple of those tweaks and then go launch. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what that means for you. Ideally, you'd put it everywhere. Launch your quick start guide, get it out there like Tracy has. She's got one. She's got a pop-up, obviously. Go try that if you haven't done it yet. If that means that you just need to share it on your Insta stories, or you're going to put it in your Facebook groups or whatever, that's fine too. But let's finish it up. Let's launch. If you are stuck with the technical stuff, let me know. If you are worried
Matt,
about,
that's kind of where I am.
Yeah.
Not necessarily stuck. I just need to switch. I'm using Constant Contact right now, and for example, the plan that I'm on, you can't put an image in the pop-up. It's only text, and it sucks. So I'm trying to learn ConvertKit first, so I can actually deploy these things. And
Okay.
my just for everyone's knowledge. My background is different than most of yours. As Matt Matt, I told you this a little bit briefly, but I come from an e-commerce background. So I ran an e-commerce business for a long time, and we had like 200,000 subscribers, and we were selling products and doing, at abandoned cart checkout series like that. And, I use the email agency to draft campaigns and stuff like that. So I haven't built it in this way. And, after going through some trouble in e-commerce, after I sold that business, I bought a content site because I like the business model. And it's very different than what I'm used to. So this is new to me. I pick up things quickly, but I'm doing this more so kind of the first time. And we were using Klaviyo, we weren't using ConvertKit, so it was a very different focus. And that's why some of these questions that I have are more on the basic side, but I can pick up things quickly. But I guess I just have some basic questions, for you guys, if that's okay, and I'll make them really brief. Is that okay?
Sure, please. Yes, that's why we're here.
So wait, I think I asked this. So yeah, like Tracy, on yours, that pop-up that Matt you pulled up, that's only triggering on that page. Like, did you choose and like say, okay, this is one of our highest traffic pages. Let's have the pop-up trigger on that page. What first of all, is it only on that page triggering? Or and what was your logic for having it pull up? Yeah.
That's it's site-wide. It's not just
Okay.
on that particular, it's just site-wide.
And on the homepage.
I think that is
It's
on the homepage as well. I may have omitted it.
So everyone gets that. Okay.
What software are you using, Tracy?
It's Pop-Up Ally, and I've just spent 2 days trying to get my mobile pop-up to work, and I'm really frustrated at this point. So it's not working on mobile.
Who's your platform? What's your ESP?
ESP?
Are you on ConvertKit, MailChimp, Constant Contact?
Oh, MailChimp. Email service. Okay, MailChimp. Yeah.
Okay, so I think they have a built-in, don't they?
I'll have to check.
Yeah. I mean, I don't love it. I don't like really too many of them that are already built in, but that might work for you for your mobile. Anyway, Riyadh, sorry.
Yeah, and another question. So it seems like you said, Matt, last 2 days ago, that every email in the Quick Start Guide, like basically are linking to 5 articles mostly. So articles that we already have are usually what should be in the Quick Start Guide.
Well, my whole intent is if I've got a new subscriber and I can solve their problem, it isn't always back to the website. Sometimes it's to some other channel where you've got it, but we don't need to if the content already exists, we just need to direct them there. We don't have to put it all in the email. You can have a send them to a YouTube video. You can send them, but ideally you're going to monetize back on your website, right?
Yeah. Because like Bren, like what I saw that you did in your series, that you were linking to a product. I couldn't tell if that was Amazon or if that was a product just on your website. And then also it looked like another one was an actual article. So it looked like you were mixing linking to an article and linking to a product. Is that true?
No, those are all DIYs.
What do you
They're
mean?
all
Like
articles or DIYs on my website.
Okay, they're all articles. Got it. Okay.
So teach you how to make that. Yeah.
Is that not a good thing to do? For example, like linking them to an affiliate product directly in the email, or is that not recommended?
No, that's a great question. So the high level answer is whatever solves your reader's problem best. Okay, so sometimes that's a specific link to like if you're doing Cricut, for example, and Cricut has an affiliate program and you're sending them to a pair of scissors that works great. Wonderful, fantastic. I want them back to my website as much as I possibly can because I want Raptive to pay me for those ad views. But that's a general concept, but serving your audience is the best thing to do. So now, as far as rules, Amazon, you're going to need to know every every affiliate partner's rules. Amazon doesn't want you to link directly to products, and we can get into that when we get into the
From
affiliate
email,
side of
right?
things
I
in
believe.
email.
Oh,
uh-huh.
that's right. That's right.
And then,
I
but
see.
others don't, like Cricket, they don't care. They're like, yeah, send me the link. We'll take the traffic
Mhm.
however we get it.
Because I guess you're looking at, okay, there's the value of the page view, right? If you're sending them back to an article, or there's the value of an affiliate product, like which is greater? If you mix the quick start guide, like with an affiliate product that's giving you 15% commission, or a few page views, what's gonna be a higher ROI, or what will bring in more revenue, I guess.
Right. And then the training them to open and click because of how you're actually serving them. So in the case, let's say that they go to Bren's DIY cleaner, and it's no good. The first time, what are they going to do? They're not going to open or click anything going forward.
Right.
So you want to make sure that just whatever you're doing, you're serving them, so that when you're training them that, yeah, every time Riyadh sends me something, it's awesome, no matter what it is.
And Matt, do you think that triggering a pop-up for a quick start guide on site-wide is best, or, triggering them on only the highest value pages? Because, for example, this is how shitty Constant Contact is also. With my pop-up that I have, you can only the delay. I mean, I don't have the higher paying plan because they rip you off and their features really aren't that good.
Yeah.
You can only set a delay of 5 seconds. So if someone comes to my website, like, they don't want to necessarily be bombarded with a pop-up in 5 seconds. They didn't even read the content. They didn't get any value from it, and I can't make the delay any longer, which is why I'm switching. I'd like them to, like what you said, X amount of seconds or X amount of page scroll.
No, it's a good
You
question.
recommend it on any page or all pages?
The short version is I use pop-ups a lot, and I use them pretty much everywhere. The long version I will share with you on Friday, because I need to spend more time on pop-ups, because everybody needs to know kind of the do's and don'ts and the options out there. You're running into exactly what a lot of other people have run into, both as far as the questions and the tech limitations. So I'm going to actually share with you good, bad examples. I'll share software that you can consider to do it, and maybe that'll answer your question in more depth.
Okay, I'll wait for that on Friday then.
And Riyadh, if you have any more questions, hang on for just a second. I'm happy to answer all of them, but just because we're at the top of the hour, for everybody, thank you so much for sharing. Homework assignment: go publish your quick start guide. Katie, I'm posting, if you're not in the Facebook group, join the Facebook group, because I'm posting the recaps and the links to the replays in there. On Friday, we'll talk about pop-ups, Forever series, weekly newsletters. I'm going to give you some templates that you can use, tools that you can actually go fill out and make your life easier, I hope. If you want to stick around and ask questions, please do so. If you got to get, we'll see you on Friday. All right, thanks everybody. Riyadh, I apologize, didn't mean to cut you off. Just wanted to put the bow on that.
Oh, no problem. I don't want to hog the questions. Does anyone else have questions? I can take a break.
I just have one quick question, Matt, related to the Quick Start series. Like, Tracy's is so beautiful, and I'm very attracted to those aesthetic emails that have the photos and stuff in them.
Yeah.
But then I've heard mixed things, like, is it better to leave out all the photos and just get the text in there? I mean, other than like your header and your footer,
Yeah.
or is it better to include some images?
In marketing, the answer is usually it depends, and it's worthy of testing. So let's go through what's really happening in real life. So I have this client, her name is Melissa, and she just can't be bothered with email, right? She wants to do it, but she just told me, she's like, I can't do this. And I said, well, just do the bare minimum. And she did. She sends some bullet points. Like, literally, it's like, here's my top 5 Instant Pot recipes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No pictures, no anything. Guess what? Open rates and clicks are bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like super short like that. So
Right.
Does her audience, what do they really need? They just want the power of suggestion of the links. Now, I have also seen where if you show an image, and I don't think this is going to be the case in yours, by the way,
Right.
but like in the case of Tracy, where you're talking about food, Tracy's going to want to test that a little bit more. She's got such beautiful photography where she's obviously very talented, or has invested heavily in this, probably both. And so that just like you said, you're drawn to it. I want to make that because it looks amazing. Somebody else's photography may not be as, like some mac and cheese may not be as beautiful, but it's still really, really good, and you make it for your kids. In that case, that person is probably better off just giving the link. I don't have the answer, is what I'm saying. There's no technical reason to not include images if you're ever worried about that. It's just more of a testing. What will your audience respond to? Because remember, we don't monetize in the inbox. If we can get them to click through to where the pretty images are, we still win. I know that so often we're fixated on the pretty templates, but time and time again, like for anybody that's on Flowdesk, please, 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 please be careful with how you use the visual editor that looks so pretty, but that nobody can read. You just straight up can't read it. It's pretty because they turn them into JPEGs and they publish the JPEG, and then the text does not size with your mobile device. I literally have clients where I'm just like, I can't even read what you're sending me here. So therefore, sorry, I'm not, so there's a trade-off there.
And then second question, I'm doing your course, your email crush course. So I use ConvertKit. Does that course have the information about the pop-ups and ConvertKit and everything there? Okay, then I'll go over there and get that information. Thank you.
Now, if you want to do that today, for example, go.
Yeah.
I just recently updated the ConvertKit pop-up. I used to hate it. They've gotten a little better. If you follow my instructions, you'll get a better design on desktop and mobile. But you didn't used to be able to do it, and I used to steer everybody away from it. It's within the last 2 weeks that has changed.
Yes, I was excited to see that because I've always hated their pop-ups.
They're awful.
Just ugly. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it out then. Thank you.
Okay. Good luck. If you have time, I'd love to talk through your series ideas. Katie, go for it. Let's do it.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so my site is cast iron recipes. So all of my recipes are exactly what it sounds like. It's all in cast iron. So my series idea, I named it Tossing the Teflon. So a lot of people, or a lot of my readers want to migrate to cast iron if they're not avid users already.
Okay.
But they're like hanging on to those few bits and pieces of cookware. And I kind of want to show them that like you don't have to use anything besides cast iron if you don't want to. So
what's your website?
castironrecipes.com.
Well, that's on the nose. Okay. And your biggest, what are your biggest trafficked recipes?
Venison. We are homesteaders and hunters, and that seems to be kind of the biggest draw is my venison, as well as pork chops. Like I have a super easy pork chop recipe that does really well and brings in a lot of my traffic.
Okay, so when they go, let's take the venison and the pork chop. What is a specific Google search that brings them to you? Is it venison cast iron venison or something?
No, it would be venison backstrap recipe.
Is that a type of meat?
Yeah, it's a cut of venison, so it's it runs along like the spine essentially.
Okay, so does that person care about cast iron or not?
I mean, I kind of think so, just because it's the same type of person, like it fits their persona, if that makes sense. Like most
they're kind of in that homesteader, kind of like you are. Yeah, right. That does make sense. But where I'm going with this is if you're focused very heavily on convincing people to move to cast iron, I'm not sure that's the hook.
Right.
If they want to make homesteader type style pork chops and homesteader style venison, would we be better off with 5 secrets to homesteader cooking? Or that's not the right word, but you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, I do. I see what you're saying. I just know that I definitely kind of put myself in the place of like, I don't know, like I'm not like these seasoned cast iron, grandmas that have been only cooking with cast iron since the dawn of time. So I'm like I feel like I'm a little hesitant to put myself in those like super expert shoes.
All right.
But like I want to encourage like this whole movement of, you know, young moms such as myself that are moving, let's say, from the city, or, you know, kind of starting to dive into this homesteading world, or are realizing the effects of Teflon and things like that, and want to steer clear of them.
I know that's where you want to go, and it makes sense to me. But I want to go back to Martha. Martha doesn't necessarily want to go there. What Martha wants is a venison backstrap recipe. What Martha wants is she wants some maple cider glazed carrots, or she wants some pork chop. That's what she really wants. Now, you happen to have an incredible, delicious, beautiful recipes that happen to be made in cast iron skillets, Dutch ovens, and so forth, right?
Right.
And so I think your series could be, and I'm going to forgive the words here, but it's going to be something like 5 days of classic homesteader recipes, or 5 days of classic meat recipes. Or that's not right. That's not the right thing. I would need to spend more time on it. But something that ties to that. They were interested in venison. They were interested in pork chops. They were interested in this, in cooking the chipotle breasts, whatever. I want to talk about the recipes because that's what they wanted. And in the process, I'm going to be introducing them to your expertise. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 1 of 5 classic homesteader recipes. Well, one of the characteristics of great homesteader recipes is pulling out that delicious, authentic taste that you can only get from cast iron skillets. That's why today I'm sharing with you my 5 favorite cast iron homesteader recipes. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Day 2. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 2 of cooking on the homestead. Did you know that you can create delicious meals that you just set and forget, and they have the great taste of cast iron that comes from an authentic cast iron recipe? That's why I'm sharing my 5 top Dutch oven recipes today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so you would suggest sharing multiple recipes in each of the.
My experience tells me with food that you can solve the same problem with multiple recipes.
Okay.
You know, when you're talking about cookies, I may like chocolate chip, you may like oatmeal raisin. The fact is that you're wrong. But but there might be those crazies out there. And so you give variety. The problem you're solving is cookies. In your case, the problem you're solving is delicious venison style backyard cooking, homesteader type recipes. However we spin that, that's what they want, is recipes, because that's what they Googled. They don't care about what their pan's made of yet.
Okay, so
but
would
you turn into that, and you're convincing them over time. You almost don't have to evangelize to them, is what I'm getting at. You just keep serving them these recipes that are delicious, and your people they'll try those recipes and they'll stick, and then they'll keep trying more of your recipes.
Okay, so would so the concept of like toss the Teflon, for example, is that something that you would say, like, you know, after they've gone through the initial series, maybe introduce that one with like, or maybe it's its own email of like, here's 5 recipes you didn't know you could cook in cast iron, like rice and pasta and pies, things like that. Yeah.
Like Tracy's saying, that could be one of the secrets inside of the secrets of the homesteader cooking. Also, if that's what you're all about, put it on your About Us page. You know, I'm all about helping you toss the Teflon. This is more of an identity thing and who you are, or put it in your bio down below. Instead, because Martha, she still does not care. She just wants to make some venison. That's all she cares about right now. And we have to get her there.
Okay.
Great stuff. Great question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, Riyadh? Do you got any more? Come on, buddy. You're doing great. Keep them coming.
Appreciate it, Matt. I'm just going through, I guess, so it does seem like in the quick start guide that the, for example, if it's a 5 quick start guide, and we're sending one email a day for each week, which in the first week, which is kind of what you recommended, that all of these articles are kind of in the same content cluster. That's what it's seeming like it should be.
You're solving
Like,
a problem. It's a theme. It's all about that user. So if I'm telling them
Yeah.
about Disney cruising, then yeah, it's going to be in a content cluster related to Disney cruising. I'm just taking that and putting it in an order that makes sense.
yeah. So because basically what I, again, I bought a content business that was very outside of what I have done. So I
Sure.
bought a content site in the niche of parenting and pregnancy and babies. So that's very different,
Yeah.
I'm not married, I don't have kids, so this is very different, but the niche is I bought it because it's evergreen content. People will always have questions about children and
For
doing
sure.
certain things when new mothers and stuff. So, if the content cluster is diapers, or if it's something else, I need to figure out what content is most valuable, which is why I want to go to our highest trafficked pages in Google Analytics, look at those, and then determine my quick start guide based on those.
Do you know what they are? Have you looked at that yet?
I mean, I have to look at the top of my head, but they're, a lot of our content is our question based. How to do this? Why is this? This is happening. That's most of the pages that get the most traffic.
Okay, so my guess is, I'm just guessing here, that they're going to fit into some obvious stage of pregnancy or parenting. So you're either about to get pregnant, or you are now pregnant, or you're postpartum, you have a toddler, or you're raising a teenager. There's going to be something like that. Those are probably your segments, and we'll talk about segmentation here too. Those are probably your segments that you're going to serve, that you can serve. And that's your question about where should a pop-up go. If I have a content that's related to parenting teens, I'm going to have a quick start guide related to parenting teens. 5 secrets to get your teens to listen to you. 5 secrets to improve your relationship with your teenager. That's actually better, right? 5 secrets to improve your relationship with your teenager. That does not work on the toddler stuff. So you're going to probably show a pop-up on the toddler stuff that says, 5 secrets to raise a healthy and happy toddler.
Well, then for me, it goes back to, if I have so many ones like that, should we just offer a quick start guide, or should we offer an ebook on people who land on that page to get them to subscribe? So that's kind of my question, because I would have to create that.
Test that. But I'm telling you, you already have whatever content you're going to put in the ebook, you probably already have on the website, in which case, why do we need the ebook? So 5 secrets to raising a healthy and happy toddler. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 1 of raising happy toddlers. Well, let's start with, what do you feed them? Well, there's so much information about this and so many great recipes and ideas. Here are 5 resources that will help you know what to feed your toddlers. Here's our favorite recipes. Here's the vitamins that they need, right? Day 2, healthy toddlers. Well, how to keep them safe. Here are the top 5 safety precautions for resources about, protecting your toddler. See what I mean?
I like to play devil's advocate. Then I ask myself, well, why can't they just go in the search bar of our website and just type in the word toddler and see any article that pops up? But
because you don't do that. Nobody does that. You Google something because you're in transaction mode, right? You Googled toddler safety harness. And so toddler safety harness is what you're looking for. This is why that's all you're looking for in that moment. They're not going to go looking for anything else from you. But when you do a pop-up that says how to keep your toddler safe, 5 ways to keep your toddler safe, you're like, oh, I do need that. I am curious. I shall sign up and see what they say. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
If everybody did that, then I'd be out of job, probably. the searching thing.
I mean, right now we have 375 subscribers. That's just from a basic pop-up with some plugin from WordPress.
Cool.
And I'm still going to keep that on because I just want to keep collecting them until I'm ready to use ConvertKit and put that up, because I do want to switch to a stable platform. I really don't like Constant Contact, but you
Yeah.
know, when I bought the site, it was on
Yeah.
another one, Drip, and then he was locked out of, the old owner was locked out of his account, and he couldn't really get everything, so I kind of started new. And
Well, if you decide to go to ConvertKit, they'll migrate you for free if you want. You can do it yourself. I have the steps in my email and autopilot course as well, but they will just do it straight up for you if you want to do that. But yeah, I think focusing on the things that you're focused on are the right things. I'm gonna drop my ConvertKit link in there. That gives you 30 days instead of 14 if you're.
I already signed up.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm
then.
trying to get ahead
All
with
right.
it.
Well, let me know if you get stuck.
I will, Matt. Thank you so much. And I'll keep some other questions. I know you said some of those you'll address on Friday, so I'll
Yeah, and
I'll
if I
save those
don't,
for them.
make sure that I hit them. Okay.
I will.
All
I
right.
appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. Anything else? All right. Thanks, everybody. Go get them. If you do anything besides email over the next 2 days, you're doing it wrong. So, you know, go make that happen. All right. We'll see you.